Come on down, Brian.
Okay.
Let's go, B-Wade. I can't wait.
Everybody start clapping. Everybody start clapping. Hey, good morning, movers and shakers. It's pretty bad when you have to tell a group to clap for it. But
I was going to do it.
I'm pretty comfortable here, so that's what I do. And I have become really comfortable. I've become so comfortable that I've become an incredible procrastinator when it comes to giving these speeches. I mean, it is bad how bad I procrastinate. And I read one time that perfectionists tend to procrastinate. And I'm a perfectionist, so I thought about it, and I thought, well, why is that I procrastinate? Well, because when you start thinking about the speech you're going to give, you say, well, maybe I should talk about this. No, that's not good enough. It's never good enough. So you just put it off, and you put it off, and you put it off, and then you're at the night before or the morning of, and that's what I do. And I almost do it for fun now. It's a challenge. I like to challenge myself. I remember one time I read years ago that the salesperson wearing the blue suit was a lot more likely to make the sale than the salesperson wearing the brown suit. And so just to stack the odds against myself, when I was trying to persuade a big client to work with me, I would wear the brown suit on purpose, just to see if I could make the sale. I'm rebellious. I'm living on the edge. But the thing is that if I come up here and if I procrastinate, and even if I blow the speech, it's not going to be career ending. I can afford to procrastinate in this instance. And I've learned how to speak. I've learned how to look at it differently. You know, you go home, at the end of the day, you stand in the kitchen, you actually deliver a speech to your family about the things that happened that day. It's a speech, it's animated, it's a story. Can you believe what he did next? You're giving a speech. Did you prepare for it? So can I come up here and do that in front of 13 people? I don't know, maybe it's risky though, Dave. But see, I can afford to take this risk. But the thing is that there is something that most people procrastinate on in their life that they can absolutely not afford to procrastinate on, and that is retirement, wealth accumulation, building wealth, saving for the future. And the reason we can't afford to procrastinate on it is because it does have extremely significant ramifications if we're not prepared. And when we procrastinate, we miss out on the biggest ingredient in wealth accumulation, which is time. There's 3 ingredients in wealth accumulation. Money, how much money is going into the plant. Earnings, how much earnings is the money achieving. And then time, how long is the money invested achieving those earnings. That's when you get the compounding interest. Compounding meaning this: if I have money in year 1, it earns interest, right? But in year 2, I'm starting with the money and the interest, and now they're both earning interest. And in year 3, I have the money and the interest, and all of that is earning interest. You do that for 15, 20, 30 years, you get this compounding effect. If you delay saving, like most people do, they delay it for 10, 20 years, they're losing the compounding. But nevertheless, that's where so many people are. And I get it. Because young people think they have forever, or maybe they go through tough times. You're not earning as much money when you're younger. You're buying a house, you're having kids, you're being pulled in all these different directions. So for whatever reason, most of us don't save enough in our 20s and 30s. So what is my job as a financial planner? My job is to help people, starting with wherever they're at, and to take what they have accumulated and to help them make the best decisions with that money going forward. So consequently, a lot of my clients tend to be in their, I've got some in their 30s, but I get a lot in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. And 40s, 50s, and 60s are probably those prime ages, because people have typically accumulated something, but it's like, hey, they're starting to understand that this is serious now, it's important to them, it's the phase in their life where they want to make a difference, and I have to come in, look at where they're at, help people make good decisions with their investments, both with their investment choices, but also good decisions in terms of the behaviors that they should be engaging in to help them get the best result. And that's what I do. I'm not judging. I'm not saying we could have done this in the past, you should have done this in the past. I'm saying, hey, we're here today, and these are the steps that we can be taking to move ahead now. And so, who do I work with? Well, the easiest times to refer me are when people are going through moments in time in their life that makes it easy to bring up a financial conversation. So earlier I mentioned divorce. Divorce is a time when people are splitting up money, they're starting over. Sometimes they want to change advisors because the advisor might have primarily worked with one spouse and the other spouse no longer feels comfortable working with that advisor. People are seeking an advisor, whether it's a new advisor or whether they haven't had an advisor or they just realize, hey, I need an advisor. I'm splitting up money, what do I do? And I'm concerned now about my future. I have to take care of myself. Great time to suggest that they talk to an advisor. Or if somebody changed employers, maybe they quit, maybe they got laid off, maybe they got a better job, but regardless, if somebody's leaving an employer, they might have an old 401k or other retirement plan that they need help with. Great moment in time to bring up the topic and introduce it. Hey, would you like to be recommended or introduced to somebody? Or inheritance. I just had a client who inherited money. Hey, you're inheriting money. This opportunity, this might be the only opportunity they get ever in their life. They'll never see this again, right? I mean, how many times in life do we get a big inheritance or a lottery winning or, maybe once, twice if we're lucky? Don't blow it, People get a laundry list of what they want to buy with that money. Oh, I'm going to get a truck and I'm going to go on this trip and, then the money's gone, right? Don't blow it. It's a great moment in time to suggest that they talk to somebody like me. So if you find those moments in time, or retirement, you're about to retire, you're just about to retire, maybe they're in their early mid-60s, they've accumulated this money. Hey, great moment in time, can I introduce you to somebody? Because I know you want to take this money from your employer, you want to make good decisions with it, how much income, you're smiling. Am I talking too long?
No, I was just going to say 2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes. Well, I'm doing good. I'm ahead of the game. And I didn't even practice. I'm right on time, So, but now I lost my train of thought. You're retiring, right? So we got to take this money and translate it into income for the person. So how much income can they safely withdraw from their money and invest it in a responsible manner so that it grows, and we try to outpace inflation without taking unnecessary risk with the money and losing all the money. It's an important topic for people that they're concerned about. So great moment in time to introduce me. If you know people who are in the midst of these life changes, these are times when it is easy, it is natural, it is perfectly acceptable for you to bring up the topic and suggest or ask if they would be interested in meeting me. And if you have questions or you know people who have questions, please recommend them to me, Brian Wade, Tampa Financial Group.
All right, guys. Now
How
that
did
we
I
know
do that?
more
How did I
about
do that?
Brian, let's do our best to give him a referral and